again because we have visuals of the Prime Minister arriving in Guildhall. And here, let's go across there live now. The British Prime Minister David Cameron is also there.
Prime Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honour to welcome Prime Minister Modi to the city and host him in the Guildhall's magnificent Old Library, which dates back to the 19th century. It's called the Old Library because, as you might have spotted, there are no books anymore. They moved elsewhere to make space for events of national significance, events like this. Our audience represents the city at its best. The men and women who make this world the most fun and exciting financial hub. We have all gathered to hear about one of the UK's most important allies and firmest friends, India. We in the city have long since recognised India as a kindred spirit, a place of enterprise and innovation, supported by democratic values, the rule of law and maturing financial markets. Mr. Modi, it's a pleasure to have you here. Now I have great pleasure in handing over to the UK Prime Minister David Cameron, who will now get the events underway. Thank you very much.
Prime Minister Modi, Lord Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, we have come from the Palace of Westminster, where Prime Minister Modi has addressed a joint session of Parliament. So, from the seat of our democracy, we are now in the heart of our financial centre, London's Guildhall. Beyond these fine surroundings is the financial capital of the world, a city that is home to 250 foreign banks, more than any other global financial centre. 4 in 10 of all foreign exchange transactions in the world take place right here. More US dollars are traded in London than in New York. And UK-based fund managers invest over £6 trillion right here. So one thing is clear. If India wants a partner to help finance its ambitious plans, you've come to the right place. And it works both ways, because beyond this hall, far beyond these shores, is India, a country with the power to invest, to innovate and grow, and to help Britain realise our ambitions too. Together we can be partners in prosperity. So many of our goals align. You want to make in India, boosting manufacturing and creating jobs. And we want to do the same here. So we will make with you, just as businesses like JCB and Rolls-Royce are already doing. And I know you'll want to make with us, just as Tata is doing at Jaguar Land Rover. You want to build 100 smart cities to meet the growing demands of urbanisation. And we want to invest in and regenerate our cities too. So the UK will help you plan, design and implement new cities like Amaravati, the new capital of Andhra Pradesh. And we'll offer you fantastic investment opportunities, particularly in our northern powerhouse, joining up our great northern cities so they can compete with the great cities of the world. And our ambitions don't stop there. You want to deliver digital India, unleashing the entrepreneurial talent of young Indians. And we want to continue our reputation as the tech capital of Europe. So we will share our experience of building technology clusters, like Tech City just down the road from here, and we'll continue to ask you for your leading IT services expertise, which is renowned the world over. You want to skill India to ensure 400 million Indians receive the right training and qualifications. And we're creating 3 million new apprentices to make sure our young people have the skills they need to get on in life. So we can provide the world's most recognized and respected professional bodies, like City and Guilds, which already train thousands of Indian people each year. And we'll ask you, through the Indian companies operating in Britain, to help deliver the high-quality apprenticeships that Britain needs. Finally, you want to ensure financial inclusion for all those who are unbanked, particularly in rural India. And we want to expand our reach as the world's financial capital. So we will deploy the very best of British fintech to deliver the mobile money and branchless banking that India needs. And we hope to continue to see the liberalization of your financial markets, creating more expansion opportunities for us all. I believe there is no better partner than the United Kingdom for advancing India's economic development, ensuring your prosperity and jobs, mobilizing investment, providing world-class technical and professional expertise, and supporting your program of inclusive growth. And there's no better country than India for us to look to for what we need. You already invest more in the UK than in any other country in the European Union. We already invest more in India than anyone else among the G20. So let's take our strong ties and make them even stronger. Let's be partners in prosperity. And let's welcome the man who's the driving force between all that ambition and potential. He told us in a great speech in Parliament that the future of India is the future of 1/6 of humanity. And he told us that the India his people dream of lies ahead of them. These are exciting times for an extraordinary country and a leader of great vision. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Your Excellency, Mr. David Cameron, Honorable Mr. Alan Yarrow, the Lord Mayor of London, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure for me to be with you this evening. I must confess that there has been a delay in my coming to this great country. But the good news is that I and His Excellency Prime Minister Cameron have been in constant touch, have been meeting frequently at various places and exchanging views. I remember our last meeting in New York, where he rightly said that India and UK should work closely on the economic front. Friends, UK and India have known each other very well since a long time. Our systems of governance is also based largely on the Westminster model. Our institutions know how to interact with each other. Our people know how to work with each other. Our businesses know how to grow with each other. That is the reason that UK is among India's major trading partners. UK is also the third largest foreign investor in India. And I must add, this is not one-sided. India has emerged as the third largest force of FDI for UK. However, there is significant potential for India and UK to further strengthen their economic ties. We have to effectively leverage the mutual understanding which is there for each other. We are particularly keen to develop the sectors where UK is strong. We are working hard to create conducive conditions for this engagement. A strong Indian community here keep pushing us for better and better integration with UK. Friends, since my government took over, we have been working relentlessly to put the economy on track. Particularly, we have worked very aggressively to make India an easy and simple place to do business. We believe that this is necessary for improving the lives of ordinary citizens in India. The results of our hard work are now visible. IMF chief has recently said that India is among the few bright spots in global economy today. Our growth rate in the last year was 7.3%. The World Bank has very recently projected our growth rate at 7.5% for this fiscal and even better in the coming years. Thus, we are fortunate to be sailing in the right direction. In the World Bank report of 2016 on ease of doing business, India has moved up by 12 ranks at one go. No other major economy has made such a big improvement. We are also committed to take these corrections at the state, district, and city level. States are moving hand in hand with the federal government in this task in the spirit of cooperative and competitive federalism. Recently, we did a ranking of our state governments on ease of doing business with the help of the World Bank Group. This has prompted the state governments into a healthy competition among themselves to ensure a business-friendly ecosystem. This was for the first time that the World Bank involved itself in a sub-national exercise on ease of doing business. Friends, one of the biggest challenges in India today is to productivity employ the youth. For meeting this challenge, we need to provide a huge push to manufacturing, which has stagnated at around 16% of the GDP for several decades. The share must reach around 25% in the short and medium term. With this in view, we have launched the Make in India initiative. We are working on all fronts to make India a global manufacturing hub. To achieve this objective, apart from vigorous exercise for ease of doing business, we have fast-tracked approvals and clearances for industry and infrastructure. The hallmark of our strategy now is policy-driven governance. Measures like transparent auction and allocation of key natural resources like coal, spectrum, iron ore have created a level playing field for investors. To enhance the flow of foreign investment, we have liberalized the FDI regime, allowing 100% FDI in railways. We have enhanced the FDI limits to 49% in defense and insurance. We are also conscious of the last mile operational issues in such policies. In that spirit, early this week, we have carried out substantial changes in the FDI regime across 15 sectors. To give an example, now there are simply no restriction in the FDI policy for construction sector. Similarly, very radical liberalization has been done in sectors like plantation, e-commerce, and single brand retail. Moreover, we have now brought most of the FDI proposals under the automatic route. With this round of reforms, I can say that India is among the most open countries for foreign investments. Infrastructure is another big challenge for India. We are keen to build futuristic physical and social infrastructure. Through self-imposed discipline in financial management, we have been able to allocate more resources for infrastructure sectors. In addition, we are setting up an India Investment and Infrastructure Fund. We have targeted an annual contribution of $3.5 billion into this fund from our own resources. We are putting in place a professional team for asset management. We have also come up with the mechanism of tax-free infrastructure bonds for projects in rail, road, and other sectors. We will work together with the British government, industry, and the financial market to deepen our relationship and harness their interest in India's infrastructure. Very soon, these bonds will become strong instruments for engagement between our financial markets. Friends, there were a number of regulatory and taxation issues which were adversely impacting on the sentiments of foreign investors. We have taken a very decisive steps to remove a number of long-pending concerns. To give you some example, we have expedited regulatory clearances, including security and environmental clearance. We have increased the validity period of defense industry licenses up to 18 years from 3 years previously. We have taken almost 60% of the defense items out of the licensing process and liberalized a number of restrictions like end-use certificate for the exports. We have clearly articulated that we will not resort to retrospective taxation and demonstrated this position in a number of ways. This includes not going for imposition of minimum alternate tax of FPIS. We have introduced the concept of composite sector caps for the FPIs and other foreign investors. We have notified the regulations for the alternative investment funds. We have rationalized the capital gain tax regime for real estate investment trusts. We have modified the permanent establishment norms. We have also decided to defer the implementation of the general anti-avoidance rules for 2 years. We have introduced the GST bill in Parliament. We are hopeful to roll it out in 2016. We are working on a new bankruptcy court. The Company Law Tribunal is soon going to be formed. Friends, we want to make sure that our tax regime is transparent and predictable. We are also keen to see that genuine investors and honest taxpayers get quick and fair decisions on tax matters. As a result of our initiatives, the sentiments for private investment and inflow of foreign investment have turned positive. FDI inflows have gone up by 40% compared with previous year's corresponding period. India has been recently ranked as the most attractive investment destination by Ernst and Young. In a ranking of the top greenfield investment destinations, in the first half of 2015, India is at number 1. Foreign Policy magazine of USA has ranked India as number 1 FDI destination. In a study of 100 countries on growth, innovation, and leadership, India has been ranked number 1 by Frost and Sullivan. India has improved its UNCTAD ranking of investment activeness from 15th to 9th. India has also jumped 16 places on the World Economic Forum's Global Competitive Index. Moody's have upgraded the rating of India as positive. Thus, just 18 months, we have successfully restored the credibility of India in the eyes of global players. Through PPP, we are encouraging private investments in areas where earlier only government used to invest. We are also divesting our stake in the public sector enterprises to instill market discipline. We are keen to learn from your experience in structuring and implementing PPP projects. I am personally convinced and want to assure you that India is committed to protect intellectual property rights of all innovators and entrepreneurs. We have taken several initiatives for transparency and online processing in IP administration. A comprehensive national IPR policy is being finalized. Friends, we want your active involvement in translating our dreams into reality. Our commitment and aggressiveness to achieve the goal in a faster and effective manner offers immense opportunities to British companies. These opportunities range from building 50 million houses to setting up 100 smart cities, modernization of railway network, and redevelopment of station to new railway corridors. Generation of 175 gigawatt of renewable energy to transmission and distribution networks. From national highways and bridges to metro rail networks. Such a huge potential for creation of infrastructure and production of goods will not be available in any other country. More importantly, no one place on the earth can offer the potential for usage and consumption on such a massive scale. We are trying to harness this potential through our policies and people. The campaigns like Digital India and Skill India are designed to prepare the people to take part in this process. To tap their energy fully, we have also launched the Startup India campaign. We have witnessed massive growth in the number of startups in the recent past. Some of these have already begun to challenge established global players. Friends, India is on the threshold of a big IT revolution. We are encouraging it to fast-track the services to our 1.25 billion people. New technology and renewable energy is our new mantra. Whatever we do, we'll do in a cleaner and greener way. Energy efficiency, water recycling, waste to energy, Clean India, and river cleaning are among those initiatives. These initiatives provide additional avenues for investment in modern technology and human resources. Ours is a country of the vibrant youth and a rising middle class. There is a huge domestic market in India. I have been saying that 3 Ds of democracy, demography, and demand is our basic strength. Moreover, talented young minds in India have now begun taking risks. They are preferring to become entrepreneurs. Thus, we have moved forward from D to E, which is entrepreneurship. Friends, necessary condition for take-off the Indian economy we have been created. Never before was India so well prepared to absorb talent, technology, and investment from outside. I can assure you that it will get better and better in the coming days. We will be open to welcome your ideas, innovations, and enterprises. We are open to carry out necessary corrections in our policies and procedures. Given the visionary and dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Cameron and his interest in India, I am personally eager to work with the British government and companies. With these words, I welcome you to India. I assure you of my personal care in making your dreams a reality. Many of you belong to India. Many of you are in India already. But for those who are not there, I must say that at this point of time, it is wiser to be in India. Further, we are making it easier to invest in India. And believe me, we are making it even better to make in India. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, Prime Minister, I hope you sensed from the warmth of the response, the applause in this room, how incredibly welcome you are in this great city, in this United Kingdom. That was a superb speech and a magnificent account of the progress of reform, the program of vigorous economic modernization and reform that I witnessed at first hand when I visited India in September of this year. You talked of the partnerships, you talked of the strength of investment in both ways between our two countries, and so it's a great pleasure for me, as the British Minister for Trade and Investment, to announce 6 significant deals, agreements which have been made, which are the living embodiment of that partnership, which are the real-time signal that this partnership can only go from strength to greater strength. The first agreement I can announce is Vodafone, which has announced further investments in India to a total of £1.3 billion, upgrading and expanding their network, new technology centres in Pune and Ahmedabad, a revolutionary new Tier 4 data centre, and the creation of a new payment bank aimed at accelerating the journey towards a cashless economy. Second, Lightsource, the largest solar voltaics generator in Europe, is announcing a £2 billion investment in India to design and manage around 3 gigawatts of solar power infrastructure over the next 5 years. This will create 300 jobs in Britain and 42 million of revenue and 300 jobs in India as well. The third is Intelligent Energy, which has signed a £1.2 billion contract to provide clean energy to 27,000 telecoms towers in India over a period of 10 years, which has enabled an initial order of 10,000 hydrogen fuel cells worth in the region of £130 million. And the fourth is an agreement signed between King's College Hospital Foundation Trust and Indo-UK Healthcare to open King's College Hospital in Chandigarh. This will lead to the creation of a significant number of jobs there, but it's importantly the first of 11 new UK-Indo institutes for health to be developed across India. When fully implemented, that would amount to £1 billion worth of investment into India's healthcare system, but accompanied by strategic clinical and training partnerships with Britain's finest NHS organisations, universities and private companies. And the fifth agreement is India Bulls, who've announced an investment of £66 million in the British startup bank Oak North. It's a recently authorised bank providing lending to British entrepreneurs and small businesses. This equity investment will allow Oak North to increase its lending to British growth SMEs to over £500 million, supporting entrepreneurs and driving further job creation and growth in the British economy. And finally, the London Stock Exchange Group and Yes Bank have signed an MOU to foster the development of joint collaborations around bond and equity issuance, with a strong focus on green infrastructure finance. Both of these institutions will use their complementary strengths to facilitate access to capital raising both in London and in India for Indian entities, and will work jointly on the development of a wide range of new products. Through this collaboration, both parties also show their commitment to the promotion of products and platforms supporting green finance, and with market conditions permitting, Yes Bank plans to list a green bond of up to 330 million through medium-term notes in the course of next year. So please give a round of applause to these agreements, which mark a significant step forward.
Very good to you.
Prime Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for those fascinating and exciting speeches. Jobs and growth. And on a personal note, Prime Minister Modi, may I also thank you for suggesting that this event should be held on my penultimate day as Lord Mayor. I think nothing better, no better way to end the year, not only because my very first visit overseas 11.5 months ago was itself to our country, India, but because throughout the year, Gillian and I, my wife, Lady Mayoress, have had such close contact with your excellent High Commissioner, His Excellency Rajan Matai, and his wife, Geeta, who have been great friends and sterling support. We wish them well on their return to India. Mr. Modi, it is immensely reassuring to hear you give such an optimistic take on the UK-India partnership, which is of crucial importance to both our countries. If you want proof of that partnership, if you go down to Kensington and visit the V&A Museum, which is in the middle of its finest exhibition this year, and in many years, its Fabric of India is the title. It shows the development of India's exquisite textiles and how they're traded across the world, becoming the highlight and height of fashion here in London. From remnants of 2,000-year-old blanket to avant-garde fashion, the exhibits are coveted all over the world. And though tech may rival textiles in the modern Indian economy, the trading links between our countries, whilst as strong as ever, need to get stronger, as you've mentioned. That's why the city views India as a priority market. Through our offices here and in Mumbai, the City London Corporation has worked with India for well over a decade guided by experts from across India's financial services sector. They've helped us to create links on everything from regulatory reform to financial innovation. But the close link between India and the city is nothing new. Just across the road, the branch of the State Bank of India, which dates back almost 100 years. In 1956, we welcomed your predecessor, Prime Minister Nehru, who dined at the Mansion House after being presented with the freedom of the City of London. But our links go back even further than that, intertwined with shared principles of respect for democracy and the rule of law. India has one of the world's most progressive constitutions in the world. And in 1215, it is the 800th anniversary of what might be called the UK's very own progressive constitution, the Magna Carta, which celebrates the 800th anniversary this year. And it's my pleasure that City Corporation is today displaying our very own copy of Magna Carta in honour of your visit, Prime Minister. Because throughout your time in office, you too have pursued progress. I saw in December India's economic growth had fed by creation of a far more open business environment. Within the financial sector alone, we have witnessed key milestones like the insurance bill, the launch of Make in India campaign, which you mentioned, and greater investment in infrastructure. The next step is a practical engagement, such as this visit, opportunities for us to hear from India's leaders to build new business relationships and look forward. Achhe din, good days for both countries. Ladies and gentlemen, only a fortnight ago, I hosted the Mansion House first ever Diwali event. I was honoured to light my own diya, lamps which are to usher in Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. I very much hope that your visit, Prime Minister Modi, can also bring prosperity by strengthening the links that bring such impressive, diverse benefits to both UK and India. Thank you very much.
And that was live transmission there from the Guildhall in Britain, in London, and the Prime Minister's Guildhall address, very well received and focused most largely on issues concerning the economy, on infrastructure.